welcome to our top-notch education consultancy programs. We are here today again, and we'd like to give some insights into the set books. You are aware that we have been discussing the set books, and it's now common knowledge that we are discussing all the set books. We started with Fathers of Nations, we moved to the Samaritan. We've been discussing a silent song and other stories, and we are now engaging Parliament of Owls by Adipo Sidan. So we want to welcome you, and we hope that our discussions have been providing insights into this text, and you are now able to interpret them and also to help our students. Thank you very much for always keeping in touch with our program. I am Oyuga Zedo Molo, your presenter, and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do so as you continue to enjoy our insights. Now, we still want to discuss Parliament of Owls. Given the background, and I believe now you're beginning to pick what is necessary insofar as this book is concerned. As I had said, this book will be tested to the students in a way that they will be required to write essays. And that is key when it comes to the discussion of Parliament of Owls. We have discussed Act 1, and we gave the background of the atrocities that have been perpetrated by the Parliament of Owls against the other birds. And in this case, we are talking about the grain eaters and also the day birds. So in our today's production, we want to look at the first part of Act 2 and probably provide some insights into the same. Now, when this session begins, it is in Parliament, and I think there is a bill that has been put on the floor of the House for discussions. And here we have two groups, probably the opposition and the government side, so to speak, because on one side we have the dissenting voices, and these dissenting voices is led by Iron Lady, and we also have the straight-eyed, and we also have the feathered beak. So these are the people that are actually championing opposition in the Parliament of Owls. On the other side, we have Moneybag, we have Mr. Speaker, and we also have the Red String. So already at the beginning of Act 2, we are already aware of the two sides, and you need to actually clarify this, even as you teach our students, that we have the side, the dissenting side, and we also have the agreeing side. And you also have to mention to them the names that are involved in both sides of the discussion. So that to me is important. The first thing that you need to make them aware is that even at the very beginning, parliamentarians begin to discuss things that are very petty, like the socialite owl that stands up on a point of order to ask why the bill that was supposed to discuss what they call the makeups has not been brought to the floor of the House for discussion. And they do a very ridiculous thing, the so-called the money bag. It comes up, he's got the two phases. Is the speaker, at the same time, is also just a member of parliament. So you see this kind of people that have all the powers. They can play any role because the powers that he has given them that power. So when the socialite owl asks why that bill has not been brought to the floor of the House, then he comes up as a speaker and decides that that bill has been passed, and therefore the socialite owl should actually wait for his makeups to be delivered in the evening. These are very ridiculous leaders. They can do anything that they want, and that is what the writer would want us to see, that in our parliaments, it is not about policies. It's not about the bills. It's not about the laws that they are making. It is about greed and what benefits them. Like the socialite owl here represents those who are greedy and would only want things that benefit them. A simple thing as a makeup, they would still want the parliament actually to pass bills so that these things are provided for them. Now, the Iron Lady stands on a point of order to disagree with the socialite owl on this matter and clarifies that the passing of the bill was like a ceasefire. And a time is coming when the voices of reason will defeat a dictatorship. And you see, this is now the voice of reason in Parliament, because I said at the beginning that we have the dissenting voices, and the Iron Lady here represent the dissenting voices and probably the voice of reason here. So she's been able to tell the Parliament of Owls that the time of dictatorship will soon be a thing of the past, because things are changing, and therefore even the Parliament of Owls need to change from its authoritarian, or what we call dictatorship, and to actually align itself to the needs of the people. So that is key. Then we also have in the Parliament of Owls, there are two groups, of course. I've mentioned that, and you also need to be aware of the same. Now, there are certain points that you need really to check. And point of number one is it is Moneybag who passes the bills. It is not about those who are in the house to pass the bills. Remember when the socialite Owl came over and asked about the makeups, he went and just passed that bill, and that was it. So it's not about the participation from the parliamentarians, but it is about certain individuals that have been given excessive powers, and they can do whatever they want with those powers. Like in this case, the Moneybag has taken all the powers and has decided to pass a bill that was not even on the floor of the House. So you can see he has unilateral powers to do whatever he whims, and that is very wrong. And that is what the writer also would want us to see, that our parliaments are no longer there thinking, they are no longer there rational, they are no longer there objective. Their own interest in parliament is to pass those bills that will definitely benefit them, and that is what has happened. At the same time, we have seen any political regime, these extreme powerful politicians who wield a lot of powers at will. So it is also an insight that in our politics, we have all these people in any political regime that have got a lot of powers, and these texts are represented by the so-called the Moneybag. Even in a toxic political environment, the writer would want us to see that there are those who are rational and can think objectively. And this is where the author has brought in the characters like the Iron Lady, the Feathered Beak, and also the Straight-Eyed. They actually the voices of reason in this parliament. And there is something that I would want you to note, that when the bill of the makeup was just about to be passed by one person unilaterally, I remember that the Iron Lady was actually driven out of parliament. This is very common. Like, if you look at the arrangement in this parliament as far as this time is concerned, we have 3 against 3. But the moment one of them has been driven out, definitely it tilts the whole thing. And now we have 3 against 2. So it's not about policy, it's not about the law, but it's about us doing it, and it is for our own benefit. And that is why, and that also explains the reason why probably the Iron Lady was driven out of parliament, so that they can easily pass this law. So these 3 actually stand for the truth, and sometimes it is better to stand for the truth. Now, there is political intimidation of the opposition. Anytime a crucial political bill is to be passed, anytime they want to pass any bill, that bill is not meant for the public. It is meant to suit the political class. So these are the things that we need to begin to interrogate as we read Parliament of Owls. Thank you very much, and may God bless you abundantly as we continue to interact with Parliament of Owls. I'm Oyuga Zedo Molo. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and gain the insights that we share with you. Thank you.